Hello, welcome to Economics. I'm Isaac Temidayo. So today we shall continue our discussion on econometrics. The last class we discussed the methodology of econometric research, where we discussed the 4 steps. I hope you still remember. If you've not seen that, then you have to go back and see the last video. Today we shall progress and discuss the correlation theory. So at the end of this class, of course, you are expected to know the meaning of correlation, the scatter diagram, the correlation coefficients, the sample correlation coefficient, and the types that we have. So, and most important, you have to know also that correlation is not the same thing as causation. So we'll start like this now. Measuring economic variables. If you are measuring economic variables, there are different concepts that we use. We can use the correlation theory, we use regression analysis, and some other econometrics techniques or econometrics concepts in measuring economic variables. However, the correlation theory basically gives the relationship or the degree of association between 2 or more variables. That's basically what the correlation theory, that's what it gives you. When you are now talking about 2 variables, when you are concerned with 2 variables, then the focus will be on the simple correlation where we have the small r. We are focusing on maybe more than 2 variables, like 3 or much more, then you focus on the multiple correlation. So that's the basic difference between the 2. So the difference is just in the number of variables that each is concerned with. Now, the scattergram, we also call it the scatter diagram. The scattergram or the scatter diagram. What it shows, it gives us an idea of the pattern of relationship or the strength or weakness of relationship between 2 variables, basically, just because of the Cartesian plane, the limitation of the Cartesian plane that we have, the y and the x axis. So the scatter diagram gives you from mere observation the relationship between 2 variables, the pattern and the degree of their strength or weakness between 2 variables. So by mere observation, you can always note, you can always conclude if there will be a positive or a negative relationship between 2 variables, or probably if their relationship is, maybe it has a very strong, maybe they have a very strong relationship or they have a very weak relationship. Now, when they have a positive relationship, then you have something like this first diagram. Both variables tend to move in the same direction, they tend to move in the same pattern. Something like the supply relationship, now the supply theory, just take that an increase in price will give you an increase in supply and vice versa. So when there is a positive correlation, it simply means that both variables, they are moving toward the same direction. So as one is increasing, the other one is increasing, and vice versa. So when you make the observations, you try to plot the data on the Cartesian plane using points. The variables can they form something like this, going upward here, showing a positive relationship, and the relationship can also be a negative one, which means as one is increasing, the other one is going down. As one is decreasing, the other one is going up. Something like the demand theory now. And that's what the third diagram here shows. Now, the pattern of relationship can be either linear or non-linear. If it is linear, the points from the observation between the 2 variables, they tend to cluster around a straight line. It gives something like a straight line pattern. However, when they tend to cluster around a curve, something like this, when they tend to cluster around a curve, then that is a non-linear. A non-linear relationship exists between variable y and x. So the non-linear or the linear relationship can either be positive or negative. Like this now in the third diagram, we have a negative linear relationship between the 2 variables. And this, we have a negative non-linear relationship between the 2 variables y and x. So when the variables, when they cluster around the straight line, then you have a linear relationship. So the linearity can be positive or negative. The same thing goes for the non-linear relationship. So that's about the pattern of direction from mere observation. So also about the strength and weakness of the relationship between the variables. When these points, when they cluster around a straight line, when they seem so clustered to a straight line like this, it simply shows you that the degree of relationship between both variables is very strong. However, when they are so dispersed from the line, something like this now, from the true value of the relationship, from the true demonstration of the relationship, when they are so dispersed from it, then it simply means that the degree of relationship between the two variables seems very weak. So the strength or the weakness depends on how clustered the points are or how dispersed the points are from an observed line. So that's basically what the scattergram or the scatter diagram, that's basically what it shows. Now we move to the correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient basically gives you a numeric measure of the degree of linear relationships between or among variables. So the scattergram gives you from mere observation that okay, the relationship between these two variables might be positive or negative. But the correlation coefficient gives you an exact value. So this is quantitative in nature. It gives you an exact value like, oh, the degree of correlation is 0.225. Oh, it is 1 exactly. Oh, it is maybe minus 1 exactly. Now, the correlation coefficient, this small r, it has its value between -1 and 1. It has a value between -1 and 1. It can be equals to 1. So when the correlation coefficient is equal to 1, you have a perfect negative relationship between the variables concerned. When the correlation coefficient is equal to 1 exactly, plus 1 exactly, you have a perfect positive relationship between the variables concerned. However, when the correlation coefficient, when it is equal to 0, then it simply means no relationship exists between the two variables. That is, they have a zero correlation. They have zero correlation. If you are not trying to plot the scattergram or the scatter diagram of something like this, how does it look like? You check this this diagram 5. When the degree of correlation is equal to 0, that is when no relationship exists. The points, they do not give you a specific direction. They do not cluster around a specific direction. You do not, when you look at them, you can't even say that, oh, is it positive? Is it negative? Is it linear or non-linear? So when you do not have a definite pattern of relationship, then it simply means the degree of correlation between the two variables is 0. So basically we'll say, when the correlation coefficient, when its absolute value, as its absolute value tends to 1, it becomes stronger. It simply means the relationship between the two variables becomes stronger. When the absolute value of the correlation coefficient, as it tends to 1, it becomes stronger. However, the farther it is from 1, then the degree of relationship becomes weaker. So that's basically what the correlation coefficient measures. Now we have the population correlation coefficient and the sample correlation coefficient. The basic difference between the two is just about data issues. When you are embarking on a research now, and you need data for different amount of variables. So the data that you get might represent probably the whole population concerned with the variable, or maybe an extraction from the total population concerned with the variables. Let's take an example of this now. Samsung, let's say I'm trying to check the relationship between the Samsung phone users in Nigeria and their income level. I'm trying to observe the relationship between the number of Samsung phone users in Nigeria and their income level. Nigeria is a very big country. We have 36 states, so it doesn't really sound economical to go through all the 36 states. You finding everyone that uses Samsung phone throughout the geopolitical zones, and you get their data. If you can do that, well, good luck with that. However, when you now try to say, okay, we have 36 states, why not just divide the 36 states into their geopolitical zones, and you get different samples or different observations in a specific manner. So the method of data collection might be random, the sampling might be random, it might be non-random, depending on your method. So when you are trying to get the data for everyone in the 36 states, that's the population data. But we are not trying to divide, probably because of some economic limitations. So when you are not trying to get a sample, or you are trying to get some different observations from different states, not all now, then you are working with the sample correlation coefficient. So the sample correlation coefficient comes up when we are working with sampled data. That's basically the sample correlation coefficient. And in econometrics, we basically work with the sample correlation coefficient. So in econometrics, we try to ensure that the sample data gives a representation, a true representation of the entire population. So we basically work with the sample data, and we'll be focusing much more on the sample correlation coefficients. So the sample correlation coefficient has its types. We have basically two of them, some others, but at least we'll focus on two. We have the Pearson's correlation coefficient. Under the Pearson's correlation coefficient, we have simple correlation coefficients and the partial correlation coefficients. Basically, the simple correlation coefficient measures the relationship between two variables. You will see that in the next class. The partial correlation coefficient measures the relationship between two variables, given into account another variable that might affect both variables. So we hold that one constant. So we also check that we'll go into details here in our subsequent classes. So when we're working with the Pearson's correlation coefficient, we basically use quantitative data that has fixed values. Now, the second type of the sample correlation coefficient is Spearman's rank. The Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. Here you work with qualitative data that you can only probably rank the different values of the variables. You can only give rank to them, something like taste, or maybe how well you enjoy something, or maybe how something qualitative, not exact measures. That's really what the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient, that is what it measures. Now, correlation is not the same thing as causation. For the fact that there exists a strong positive relationship between two variables, it doesn't mean that one is causing another. Let's take an example of this: the demand for ice cream and the demand for air conditioners. We'll take Nigeria as an example. If there's an increase, probably just observe that there's an increase in the demand for ice cream in Nigeria, and also at the same time there's an increase in the demand for air conditioners in Nigeria. You might be wondering, like, does that mean that the number of ice cream, the demand of ice cream is causing the demand for air conditioners? Now, of course, that doesn't seem, that it might seem logical, but it doesn't make sense. How does ice cream and air conditioner, how do they relate? However, there might be another variable that is causing the demand for ice cream and the demand for air conditioners to be moving in the same direction, and that variable will be weather. Probably there is a very hot, Nigeria is in a very hot season, while people just consider, okay, during the daytime they take ice creams, in their offices and at night they put on the air conditioners. So the weather situation might be the one causing a positive relationship between the demand for ice cream and the demand for air conditioners in Nigeria. So basically, correlation theory focuses on the relationship between variables, the degree of relationship or association between variables. And it's very, very important to note that the correlation coefficient, when we're working much more with the sample correlation coefficient, very, very important to note that it can be equal to -1 or 1. Its value is between -1 and 1. And when it's equal to 0, it simply means there exists no relationship between the variables that are concerned. So thank you for attending this class. I hope you really enjoyed the class. Kindly subscribe, and also please click on the bell button to be notified of further classes. So bye, see you next class. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed the video you just saw. If you want more of our videos, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Now, there is a way to enjoy, to make the best of our YouTube channel, which is to go to the playlist section of every video or of every topic. So what you have to do is just type Economics on YouTube. When the page displays, make sure you subscribe. A bell button appears immediately, so you click on that bell button. Then go to the playlist section. So you are going to see videos, playlist, description, and all of that. So just go to the playlist section, and whatever topic you are looking for, look for the playlist and click on the video. Now, our playlists have their classes, the classes arranged in a very chronological manner. So if you want to see a class on ISLM, so it starts from the beginning, the simple ones to the difficult to the complex ones. So if you want to see a video on, let's say, elasticity of demand, so you start from what is price elasticity, so from there then to the basic ones, and on and on. So I'm just telling you that in case you really want to make the best of this YouTube channel. And there's also one thing that I want to add, which is that our YouTube classes may not be enough for you. You may want a regular interaction with the tutors and all of that. So what you just have to do is to check the description of the video. You are going to find a WhatsApp link. So, but before you do that, I really have to tell you that clicking that link is going to lead you to one of our schools. It's going to lead to some of our schools. So we have MOG School of Economics on WhatsApp, and we make use of our YouTube channel to run the groups. So the classes are paid for, so you're meant to pay for them. So to join our Econometrics school, so that is 2,500 naira per month, and to join our Microeconomics or Macroeconomics schools, so that is 2,000 naira per month. We also have we don't have classes, or we don't have schools of mathematical economics, because microeconomics has its mathematical aspects as well as macroeconomics. So the mathematical aspect of macroeconomics is treated in the macroeconomics school, and the mathematical aspect of microeconomics is treated with the microeconomics school as well. So I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.